College has been sold as a guaranteed ticket to prosperity. But for millions, it's become a fast track to debt, delayed earnings, and career mismatch. This audiobook exposes how credential inflation, costly majors, and opaque financial systems turn hopeful students into cash-strapped graduates. You'll hear specific industry case studies, tech, healthcare, trades, finance, and learn precise alternatives that preserve income, accelerate skill building, and avoid crushing loans. No platitudes, no theory. Clear, practical routes you can act on now. Apprenticeships, targeted certifications, entrepreneurial blueprints, and employer-funded training. Start today boldly. Chapter 1. The Broken ROI. How Modern College Economics Really Work. Listen up. The math behind college isn't mysterious. It's mechanical, and most people treat it like a ritual instead of a business decision. Start by thinking in dollars and years. What you pay today versus what you actually earn because of that degree over the next decade. If the dollar gap closes too slowly, you've got a bad investment. That's the blunt truth many counselors won't tell you. First, check real entry-level demand for your intended major. Don't ask a guidance counselor, scan job listings. If companies are hiring for skills, React, SQL, licensed technician, and not degree, then a full 4-year program is often overkill. A practical rule. If more than 60% of current listings accept certifications, bootcamp grads, or apprentices, treat the degree as optional rather than essential. Second, do a simple break-even test. Suppose average student debt for a program is $40,000 and the degree is expected to boost your starting salary by $6,000 a year versus an alternative path. That means it takes about 6.7 years to recoup tuition through higher pay. If you can earn comparable money in 3 years via certification, apprenticeship, or entry-level work while avoiding debt, that's the better choice. Don't chase prestige, chase payback period. Here's an industry-specific lens. Tech. Companies hire developers for demonstrable work. A clean portfolio, 3 GitHub projects, and a cloud cert, AWS, GCP, or Azure fundamentals, will get interviews at many firms. Actionable step. Build one end-to-end app in 8 weeks. Document it with a README that explains the problem, your solution, and measurable results. Put that project in a public repo and add a 1-page PDF case study to your LinkedIn. That beats a generic CS transcript in many mid-market hiring funnels. Healthcare is different. Some degrees are non-negotiable. Doctors, PAs, certain therapists, but allied health roles move fast with stackable credentials. Instead of a 4-year degree for a role that pays $60,000 after certification, consider CNA, LPN, RN ladders where employers often subsidize the next credential. Actionable step. Call 5 local hospitals and ask HR these 3 questions. Do you hire from certificate programs? Do you offer tuition reimbursement? What's the average start wage for your entry-level clinicians? Use their answers to map a debt-free ladder. Trades are the clearest example of upside without diploma debt. Electricians, HVAC specialists, and commercial drivers start earning during apprenticeship. Concrete step, find a local union or 3 licensed contractors. Ask for apprenticeship start dates and apply to the paid program that includes classroom hours. The key is paid training, not saving a few thousand on tuition and losing months of income. Creative degrees are often sold as incubation for artistic careers, but the market rewards clients, not credentials. If you want to be a designer, photographer, or writer, your proof is paid work. Actionable tactic. Commit to 3 paying gigs in 6 months. Price them low but professional. Use those invoices to show charging ability, then raise rates. Treat your education as client-paid learning, not tuition-funded hope. Now, concrete negotiation rules you must use before enrolling anywhere. 1. Always ask for a written tuition guarantee or refund policy tied to employment outcomes. Many for-profit programs will sign placement guarantees. 2. Demand a clear list of employers who hire graduates and call 2 of those employers to confirm hiring practices. 3. Get written confirmation of transfer policies if you later decide a degree is actually necessary. Avoid credits that don't transfer. A short case. Jamal wanted software engineering, enrolled in a $120,000 four-year program. Halfway through, he realized employers on his target lists accepted bootcamp grads and junior developers from apprenticeships. He switched to a 12-week accelerated program, started an entry-level dev job within 5 months, and avoided $80,000 in remaining tuition. He sacrificed the campus experience, but he gained income and 5 years of earlier compound savings. That's not emotional failure. It's financial discipline. Another case. Maria planned for a BFA in photography. She instead took a 6-month business course on client acquisition, shot weddings on weekends, and by year 2, she had 3 steady clients paying more than the entry-level pay a BFA grad got in commercial studios. Her degree was a track record of paid assignments. Finally, protect your upside after you choose a path. Treat every job like an educational loan. Document skills you gain, keep a running list of measurable outcomes, and set a 12-month income target. If your earnings don't rise according to your break-even plan, pivot fast. In short, measure demand, calculate payback, prefer paid training, and secure written promises. College can still be right for some careers, but never enter that contract blind. Chapter 2. Tech without the tuition, apprenticeships, certs, and portfolio playbooks. If you want a tech job without a 4-year bill hanging over your head, stop asking whether a degree is required and start building one thing employers can measure. This chapter gives you exact, no-fluff steps, where to get paid training, which certifications actually open doors, and how to build a portfolio that makes hiring managers say, "Hire now." Read this as instructions for a 90-day plan you can start today. First, find paid entry paths. Look for the words apprenticeship, paid internship, returnship, or entry-level on company career pages. Big firms run apprenticeship programs. Think cloud providers, fintechs, and telecoms. Smaller companies sometimes hide paid training under associate roles. Apply to 20 of these per month. Don't send a generic resume. In your cover note, say exactly which problem you'll solve in a 4-week paid trial. Example line: I can reduce your weekly data cleanup by writing a script. I'll prove it in a paid 2 to 4-week trial. That sentence opens more doors than "I'm eager to learn." Second, pick one cert that matches the job postings you want. If cloud infrastructure jobs show up, target AWS Certified Cloud Practitioner first, then Solutions Architect, Associate. If companies list SQL plus Analytics, get a SQL certification or complete Google's Data Analytics Professional Certificate. These certs are not magic. They're proof you invested time, but they get you past HR filters. Don't chase every certificate. One well-chosen cert plus demonstrable projects beats a stack of irrelevant badges. Third, build 3 portfolio assets that scream competency. Rule: each project must A. Be public on GitHub, B. Have a deployed demo you can open in 30 seconds, and C. Include a README that explains the problem, your approach, and 2 measurable outcomes. The 3 projects I recommend: a real-world CRUD app with authentication and a simple API. Deploy it Heroku, Versal, or a small AWS instance. An automation tool that saves time, e.g., a script that scrapes data and sends a daily report, or a CI/CD job that reduces deployment time. Quantify the time saved. An infrastructure as code sample, a Terraform or CloudFormation script that spins up a small microservice with monitoring. Recruiters in infra love this. Make READMEs into case studies. Title: 1-sentence result, e.g., cut nightly report time from 2 hours to 10 minutes. Tech stack list, short architecture diagram, and 5 bullet points of what you learned. Put a short video demo, 60 to 90 seconds, at the top of the README. Busy hiring managers judge on first glance. Fourth, use open source strategically. Don't randomly fork. Pick a project in your target stack, search issues for good first issue, and solve one. Then make 2 more small PRs. That sequence shows you can navigate code bases and collaborate. Comment in the issue thread before coding. I'd like to tackle this, assigning to myself. That visibility matters. Fifth, the outreach playbook. After you finish a project, find 3 companies that would benefit from it. Send a 3-line message. 1. Who you are. 2. One metric or problem your project solves. 3. A low-risk offer. I'll deliver a 2-week paid trial feature. Example. Hi, I'm Alex. I built a script that cuts manual CSV reconciliation from 2 hours to 10 minutes. If you'll pay for a 2-week trial, I'll adapt it to your data and show results. Include the demo link. Repeat weekly until you get a yes or actionable feedback. 6th, negotiate a paid trial correctly. Ask for a clear scope, schedule, and pay. If a company resists pay, ask for an internship with a stipend or a clear pathway to hiring upon success. Get expectations in writing, deliverables, timeline, and acceptance criteria. Deliver above those criteria. Exceed them by making one additional small improvement and provide a simple next step plan. That's how trials convert to hires. 7th, maintain a hiring-focused resume. Replace education prominence with selected projects and add a 1-line impact metric for each. Under skills, list concrete tools, e.g., AWS S3, Terraform, Node.js, GitHub Actions, and your certifications. Keep the resume to 1 page. Let GitHub and demo links do the talking. Quick case study. A 24-year-old named Priya built a tiny job board app, an automated daily report that saved 3 hours a week, and a Terraform script. She earned a Cloud Practitioner cert, contributed 3 small fixes to an open-source project, and sent tailored outreach to 10 startups. She landed a paid apprenticeship at week 6 and a full-time offer at month 4. That sequence, cert, 3 projects, targeted outreach, paid trial, is repeatable. Final rules to remember. 1 cert, 3 polished projects, 3 PRs to open source, 20 targeted apprenticeship applications per month, and always offer a paid trial with clear acceptance criteria. Do those 5 things in 90 days, and you'll have more leverage than thousands of degree holders who only have a diploma on paper. Chapter 3. Healthcare shortcuts that don't sacrifice income or impact. Listen, you don't have to wait a decade or bankrupt yourself to earn a solid healthcare paycheck. The industry is wide, and many high-paying, stable roles don't require med school. This chapter lays out clear, step-by-step shortcuts you can actually use. Stackable clinical ladders, technical niches, and employer-funded routes that put dollars in your pocket while you train. First, the stackable ladder rule. Start an entry credential that employers hire for immediately. Think CNA, phlebotomy tech, or medical assistant. Those roles pay something, get you in the door, and earn you clinical hours you'll need later. Instead of treating education as one giant leap, treat it like Lego blocks. Get CNA, work 6 to 12 months, use employer tuition reimbursement or shift differentials, then go for LPN or an accelerated sonography program. The concrete steps: 1. Find a paid apprenticeship or hospital-based CNA program. 2. Work evening or night shifts for 6 to 9 months to save and to demonstrate reliability. 3. Ask HR about tuition assistance and the exact eligibility criteria, not vague promises. That sequence reduces debt and speeds income growth. Second, target the high-value allied roles. Radiologic technologists, sonographers, respiratory therapists, and nuclear medicine techs often start earning market-rate wages after 1 to 2 years of focused training. Don't chase prestige. Chase income per year of training. Practical rule: calculate expected starting salary divided by months of training. If a 2-year program yields a $60,000 start, that's better than a 4-year degree with minimal pay differential. How to get in: apply to hospital-affiliated certificate programs, ask about guaranteed clinical placements, and prioritize programs with a job placement rate posted publicly. If a school won't share placement data, move on. Third, stack certifications that employers actually value. Instead of a vague health administration degree, stack a certified medical coder or a clinical informatics certificate with basic SQL and an understanding of EHR workflows. These are specific, hireable skills. Action plan: pick one certification, map its prerequisites, and schedule a week-by-week study plan. Use free resources for fundamentals, then pay for a single focused prep course. Employers prefer demonstrated competence. Pass the exam, add projects to your LinkedIn, and reach out to hiring managers with a one-line value pitch. Pass CPC exam, built a 3-month EHR mapping project, can reduce coding denials by X%. Can I share it with your billing lead? Fourth, use employer negotiation like a tool, not a favor. Hospitals and clinics have budgets for sign-on bonuses, tuition reimbursement, and shift differentials. When you interview, say plainly, what tuition assistance do you offer and what are the eligibility steps? Do you offer sign-on or retention bonuses for critical roles? If they stall, say, if you can't commit to tuition support, would you consider a 2-year signed tuition repayment agreement with a monthly stipend instead? That line flips the conversation from please help me to here's a business offer. Ask for contract language that ties tuition to prorated repayment only if you voluntarily leave within X months. Fifth, leverage short clinical fellowships and employer pipelines. Many health systems run paid fellowships, 2 to 6 months of paid training that leads to a job. Find these by calling HR recruiters at hospitals, attending local healthcare job fairs, and using LinkedIn filters like hiring clinical fellows. Apply early and bring a 1-page clinical resume, highlighting hours and specific procedures you've done. For the fellowship interview, present one measurable outcome you can deliver in 90 days, e.g., I'll reduce medication reconciliation errors on my unit by documenting every discharge met with a checklist. Sixth, pivot into health tech from inside. If you enjoy processes, learn clinical informatics, health data, or EHR optimization. You don't need a master's to start. You need a project. Offer to run a 30-day audit of a clinic's appointment no-shows or claim denials. Build a short report, present it, and ask for a letter of recommendation. From there, you can pursue certifications like clinical informatics or take an employer's part-time training program while you keep working. A quick case study. Maya started as a CNA, worked nights for 9 months, used employer tuition benefits to enroll in an LPN program, then shifted to a sonography bridge that her hospital subsidized. Total outlay, minimal. Time to professional pay, under 3 years. She negotiated a tuition repayment clause that forgave 25% per year worked. So after 4 years, she'd paid nothing out of pocket. Bottom line rules you can use now. 1. Choose the fastest credential that leads to license pay. 2. Stack credentials. Don't replace work with debt. 3. Demand written tuition terms from employers. 4. Build one measurable project that proves you increase revenue or reduce cost. Follow these steps, and you'll trade time and hustle, not debt, for a real, sustainable healthcare income. Chapter 4. Trades and Skilled Labor, the Underrated Wealth Engine. Listen, trades are the fast, solid path to money most people ignore. This chapter is a straight map. Paid apprenticeships, licensing steps, how to specialize, and the exact moves to turn trade work into a scalable business. No fluff. Write these rules down. First, get paid while you learn. Stop treating training as unpaid debt. Look for union or employer apprenticeships that pay from day one. Call local trade schools, union halls, and contractors. Ask 2 questions. Do you pay apprentices? And what's the entry test? If the answer is no pay, move on. A paid apprenticeship removes debt, gives real hours, and builds references employers respect. Second, collect credentials in order. Every trade has a ladder. Entry cert, journeyman license, master license. Don't skip rungs. For electricians, get your hours logged and pass the journeyman test before you chase work on your own. For plumbers and HVAC techs, stackable certifications, gas safe, EPA refrigerant handling, HVAC controls, let you charge premium rates. Rule: prioritize the license that unlocks higher rates first, usually the journeyman/master level, and plan your steps so each certificate funds the next one. Third, specialize deliberately. Generalists fight on price, specialists command rates. Pick one niche you can own for 12 months. Commercial kitchen ventilation, solar plus storage installs, medical facility HVAC controls, or industrial motor rewinds. Find contractors doing that work and ask to shadow one project. Offer to work a cheaper entry role for 2 weeks to learn specifics. After 2 months, you'll be uniquely valuable. After a year, you can price 20 to 50% above local rates. Fourth, estimate and protect your margins. Trades are not charity. When bidding your first contract, calculate labor hours realistically. Time to travel, set up, clean up, and rework. Rule of thumb: double your on-site time estimate and then add 15% contingency. For materials, always add a handling fee, 10 to 20%, and never absorb unknowns. Use a simple spreadsheet: hours times hourly rate plus materials times 1 plus handling fee plus contingency. That's your baseline. If a client balks, offer a reduced scope, not a lower hourly rate. Fifth, build 3 revenue streams: hourly work, specialty project fees, and recurring service contracts. Hourly fills the calendar. Specialty projects boost margins. Recurring maintenance provides steady cash. Example: an HVAC tech who does installation work, emergency repairs, and a monthly maintenance contract has smoother cash flow and higher lifetime client value. Aim for 30% of income from recurring contracts within 18 months. Sixth, move from journeyman to subcontractor by copying one simple system. Document a repeatable job process, price it, and train one helper to deliver it. Pay the helper less than your build rate, so the spread covers overhead. Keep 3 months of labor float to cover payroll during slow weeks. The helper runs routine tasks while you manage quality, sales, and permits. Track your helper's time on each job for accurate future bids. Seventh, win your first bids with clean proposals. A one-page proposal beats vague promises. Include scope, exclusions, price breakdown, timeline, payment terms, 25% deposit, 50% on milestones, 25% on completion, and warranty. Add a line: change orders billed at $X/hour. This protects you from scope creep and sets professional expectations. Use photos and a short bullet list of past jobs to build instant trust. Eighth, leverage low-cost marketing. Google My Business, targeted local Facebook ads, and trade-specific forums. Collect before/after photos and one short client testimonial per job. Send a follow-up maintenance offer at completion. That's your recurring pipeline. Track lead sources so you stop wasting money on channels that don't convert. Case study: Maya started as an HVAC apprentice in year 1, got her EPA cert in month 6, and focused on commercial kitchens for 12 months. By year 2, she billed herself at 30% above local HVAC rates because commercial kitchens require specific vending knowledge. She hired one helper in year 3 and turned side jobs into a profitable subcontracting business that now holds 3 monthly maintenance contracts with restaurants. Final rule: protect your health and your schedule. Trades pay well, but burn you down if you work every hour. Set a maximum weekly hours rule. Build a 1-week emergency fund for tools and parts, and reinvest 20% of profits in a training or a helper. Follow these rules, and the trades stop being a fallback. They become a deliberate wealth engine. Chapter 5: Sales, Ops, and Commission Careers. Fast income, clear metrics. If you want fast, measurable income and you don't have time or money for a multi-year degree, sales and commission-based roles are one of the clearest shortcuts, but only if you understand mechanics. This chapter is the playbook, the exact moves, scripts, and daily metrics that turn effort into predictable cash. No fluff. Real rules you can apply this week. First, the pain points you'll face: unpredictable pay, rejection fatigue, and employers who ask for experience you don't have. Fix those with 3 simple rules. Rule 1. Track the 3 numbers that matter: contacts made, meaningful conversations, and closed deals. Not vanity metrics. Contacts equals raw outreach: emails, cold calls, LinkedIn messages. Meaningful conversations equals actual 10 to 20-minute calls where you uncover need. Closed deals equals signed contracts or first paid invoices. Make a spreadsheet. Update it every day. If your closed deals don't move within 2 weeks of increasing conversations, you change your pitch. Rule 2. Always ask for the next step. Every meaningful conversation should end with a clear next action: demo, proposal, trial, or referral. If you don't ask, you don't advance. Use this script. Based on what you said, can we schedule a 20-minute demo next Tuesday to show how we solve X? If that works, I'll send a calendar invite. Short, prescriptive, low friction. That one line increases commitment dramatically. Rule 3. Start with promise-based outcomes, not features. Employers and clients pay for outcomes. Don't say, I do marketing. Say, I increase qualified leads by X% in 90 days, or I cut your hiring time from 60 to 20 days. Quantify. If you don't have history, use testable guarantees. I'll run a 14-day test for $500 and we'll hit X metric where you get a 50% refund. That reduces risk and opens doors. How to get your first role without a degree. Target apprenticeship-style sales programs, recruiting agencies that place entry SDRs, sales development reps, and boot camps with hiring partners. Apply to 20 openings a week. For each rejection, ask for feedback and one contact referral. That referral often gets you past HR screens. When you interview, bring a one-page case study, a 2 to 3 paragraph write-up of a small project where you improved any metric, even if it was for a friend's business. Structure it. Problem, your action, result, numbers. Employers respond to evidence more than resumes. Daily workflow for reliable income growth. 1. Prospecting hour. 60 targeted outreach messages to decision makers, personalized by one sentence. 2. Follow-up hour. Call and follow up on prior messages. 3. Demo/meeting hour. Do your scheduled product conversations. 4. Admin hour. Proposals, pipeline updates, and follow-ups. Repeat Monday to Friday. This structure keeps the funnel full and predictable. Handling commission variability. Negotiate a base or draw if possible. If employer resists base pay, ask for a ramped draw for 90 days. If still no, set a personal cash buffer equal to 2 months' expenses and treat the first 60 days as training. Also, diversify. Combine a sales role with freelance gigs, simple, high-margin tasks, until commissions stabilize. Use at least 2 payment streams for the first 6 months. Scaling beyond entry level. Learn to sell bigger deals. That means learning to map stakeholders. Don't sell to one person. Map the buyer's team: economic buyer, technical evaluator, and user. Before a demo, ask, who else will be involved in the decision? Then get them on the call or record permissions to share the demo. Big deals require stakeholder alignment. Single-person pitches stall. 2 short case studies. Sam, 23, no degree, started as an SDR at a small SaaS company. He tracked 3 metrics, did 60 targeted outreach messages daily, and asked for demos with the exact script above. After 3 months, his pipeline produced 2 deals. He negotiated a 5% commission increase and closed his first quarter at $8,000 in commissions, enough to save a security deposit and start a side freelance web optimization service. Maria, 28, came from retail, moved into technical recruiting by learning how to source candidates on LinkedIn for free. She offered a 30-day trial to a boutique firm. They hired 2 candidates through her and converted her to a commission plus retainer recruiter within 45 days. Practical negotiation scripts. When offered a role, say, I'm excited. For me to focus and hit targets, I need either a $1,000 per month draw for 90 days or a 5% higher commission rate on new business for the first year. Say it calmly. Employers often meet you halfway. Finally, mindset. Treat your targets as business KPIs, not personal judgments. If you miss a quota, diagnose the funnel numbers, fewer conversations, weak demos, or poor closing ask, and fix that metric the next week. Repeat the rules, keep the daily cadence, and within 6 months you'll either have a stable commission income or a proven track record that lets you jump to higher paying roles. Sales and ops pay fast when you play the metric game. Use the rules, track the numbers, and ask for the next step every time. Chapter 6. Entrepreneurship, Small Business, and Funding Without a Degree. So let's be brutally honest here. A college degree doesn't automatically make you an entrepreneur. In fact, most successful small business owners didn't start with an MBA. They started with a problem they could solve, a service people needed, or a product that made life easier. What held them back wasn't education. It was access to money, confidence, and a clear plan. That's what we're going to fix in this chapter. I'll break down simple, real-world steps to start a business without wasting years in school or drowning in student loans. Here's the first rule. Start small, but start smart. Don't fall into the trap of thinking you need a $1 million idea. You don't. What you need is a service or product that solves a specific problem for a specific group of people. Think in terms of low friction. That means something you can launch quickly, test cheaply, and scale later if it works. Let me give you some examples. One young guy I know started a mobile phone repair service. He wasn't a tech genius. He learned the basics from free YouTube tutorials and ordered a $50 toolkit online. He charged $70 to fix a cracked screen that normally costs $200 at a retail store. Within his first month, he had 10 paying customers just by advertising on local Facebook groups. That's $700 cash from a skill he learned in a week. That's what I mean by low friction. Another example, a woman I coach started a specialized cleaning business. Not just regular cleaning. She targeted Airbnb hosts. Why? Because hosts need fast, reliable cleaning with hotel-level presentation. She printed flyers, posted in local Airbnb host groups, and offered a first cleaning free if you book 3. She didn't just clean. She staged towels, left small chocolates, and sent the host photos after every job. Within 3 months, she was making more than her previous office job. Again, this didn't require a degree, just smart positioning. Now let's talk about money, because that's where most people get stuck. Everyone says, I can't start a business because I don't have capital. Wrong. You don't need massive funding to start. You need enough to cover your first 30 days. Here's a rule. Spend less than $500 to prove your concept. If you can't make your first sale with $500 or less, the idea is too heavy for a beginner. So how do you actually fund that $500? 3 practical routes. First, business credit cards. If your personal credit score is decent, you can apply for a starter business credit card using just your social security number. Many offer 0% APR for the first 12 months. That gives you a free runway to test your idea. Don't abuse it, but use it as a bridge. Second, community microloans. These are small loans, often $500 to $5,000, from nonprofit lenders or local credit unions designed specifically for people without assets or degrees. Unlike banks, they judge you based on your plan and willingness to work. Go to your city's small business development center and ask about microloans. Third, pre-sell before you build. This is the simplest hack of all. Sell the service before you've even fully created it. For example, if you want to start a lawn care business, book 3 clients for next weekend before you buy the mower. Use their deposits to rent or buy the equipment. You don't need upfront money. You need upfront commitment. Now, once you have a few dollars rolling in, the next step is to avoid the rookie mistake of burning through it. Here's the golden rule. Separate your business money from your personal money on day 1. Open a free online business checking account. Even if you only make $50, put it there. This forces discipline, helps you track expenses, and builds a financial history that banks and lenders respect. Let's address another pain point: fear of failure. Most people delay starting because they're terrified of losing everything. But when you start small, there's nothing to lose. Remember the $500 rule? At worst, you're out $500. That's cheaper than 1 college class. At best, you've proven a profitable business that you can grow. So what happens after you've proven the idea? Scaling. And this is where people screw up. They either grow too fast, hire too soon, or underprice their service. Here's my scaling formula. Step 1. Hit consistent $3,000 to $5,000 a month solo. Step 2. Raise prices before hiring anyone. If you're charging $50, move to $75 once demand is strong. Step 3. Only after you've raised prices and filled capacity should you hire or subcontract. Think of subcontractors as your training wheels. You keep the client, they do the work, you pocket the margin. This way you scale without the payroll headaches that sink beginners. Let me leave you with a quick case study. A former warehouse worker I met wanted to start a pressure washing business. He pre-sold 3 jobs by knocking on doors in his neighborhood and offering a discount if they paid up front. He used the deposits to buy a used pressure washer for $300. His first weekend, he cleared $750. By month 3, he was booked out every weekend and hired a part-timer to handle overflow. No degree, no debt, just hustle, strategy, and simple math. Chapter 7. Smart Financing, Student Loans, Income Share Deals, and Employer Tuition. Let's get real. Money for education is the single biggest tripwire that traps people for decades. It's not just the tuition. It's the compounding interest, the fine print, and the way bad loan choices can strangle your financial future before you even start your first job. This chapter isn't about telling you to avoid debt. You already know that. This is about how to outsmart the system, pick the least damaging options, and even flip the financing game in your favor. First, let's tackle student loans. The worst mistake people make is thinking all student loans are the same. They're not. Federal loans and private loans are completely different beasts. Federal loans often come with safety nets like income-based repayment and forgiveness programs. Private loans? They're ruthless. Imagine borrowing from a bank that doesn't care if you're unemployed or underpaid. They just want their money. If you have no other choice but to borrow, always max out federal options first. That's rule number 1. Now, here's where it gets specific. When you accept a federal loan, pick direct subsidized loans if you qualify, because the government actually pays your interest while you're in school. That's free money. If you have to take unsubsidized, fine, but start making small monthly interest payments while you're still in class. Even $20 a month keeps the interest from snowballing. Think of it like trimming weeds before they take over your whole yard. Private loans? Avoid them like fire unless you've run every other option dry. And if you must take one, shop them the way you'd shop for a car. Never accept the first offer. Check interest rates, check variable versus fixed, and always calculate the monthly payment on the worst-case scenario. If the number feels scary, it will be even worse when you're juggling rent and groceries. Now let's talk about something people overlook: employer tuition programs. This is one of the most underused hacks out there. Thousands of companies, from Amazon to small regional hospitals, will pay thousands of dollars a year toward your tuition or certifications. And here's the kicker: a lot of employees don't even ask about it. Don't wait for HR to bring it up. Ask them directly. Does the company offer tuition reimbursement, and how do I qualify? That one sentence could save you $5, $10, even $20,000. Case in point, Jason, a guy I worked with in logistics. He wanted to move into IT. Instead of dropping $40,000 on a computer science degree, he found out his warehouse employer offered $3,000 per year in tuition reimbursement. He enrolled in an online cybersecurity certification, used that reimbursement every year, and paid less than $2,000 out of pocket in total. Within 3 years, he landed a job in IT security, earning triple what he made in the warehouse, with 0 student loan debt. That's how you flip the script. Now, let's get into the newer stuff: income share agreements, or ISAs. You'll see these mostly with boot camps, tech programs, and a few alternative schools. Here's how they work. Instead of paying up front, you agree to pay a percentage of your future income for a set number of years. On the surface, it feels safer. I don't pay until I'm earning. But here's the truth. ISAs are contracts, and some of them are brutal. Always read the cap. The cap is the maximum amount you'll pay in total. If there's no cap, walk away. Here's a simple rule of thumb. An ISA is only worth it if 1. The program has a strong job placement record, 2. The cap is clearly lower than the cost of a traditional degree, and 3. The percentage they take from your paycheck leaves you with enough to actually live. If any of those 3 boxes aren't checked, it's not a deal, it's a trap. Case study. Mia signed an ISA for a coding boot camp. The contract said she'd pay 10% of her income for 3 years, capped at $20,000. She landed a software job earning $70,000 a year. She ended up paying $21,000, more than the cap, because she didn't realize there were extra fees hidden in the fine print. Lesson learned: always ask a lawyer or a financially savvy friend to read the contract before you sign. If the school resists giving you the agreement up front, that's a red flag. One more overlooked tool, refinancing. This is where you take multiple loans and replace them with one loan at a lower interest rate. Sounds great, but here's the catch. If you refinance federal loans with a private lender, you lose the safety nets like income-based repayment and forgiveness. Don't do it unless you're absolutely sure your income is steady and you'll never need that safety net. A smarter move is to refinance private loans only, since they don't come with those protections anyway. So let's boil it all down into rules you can actually follow. Rule 1. Always choose federal loans over private, and make small payments early to kill interest creep. Rule 2. Hunt for tuition reimbursement like it's free gold, because it is. Ask every employer, big or small. Rule 3. If you're looking at an ISA, never sign without checking the cap, the percentage, and the placement record. Rule 4. Refinance private loans if you can get a better deal, but don't touch federal loans unless you're rock solid financially. Chapter 8. Launch and Scale. A 12-month action plan by industry. If you've stuck with me this far, you're not here for theory. You want a roadmap. You want to know, what exactly should I do in the next 12 months if I don't want to drown in college debt, but I still want a solid career and real money in my pocket? Let's walk through it together, industry by industry. This is the playbook, practical, direct, and painfully specific. Let's start with Tech Month 1. Forget applying for random entry-level jobs. Instead, commit to a single skill track. If you're leaning toward web development, pick either front-end or back-end and stick to it for 90 days. Platforms like FreeCodeCamp or Odin Project are free and structured. By month 3, you should already have 2 small projects under your belt. A personal portfolio site and a clone of a popular app, something like a stripped-down Twitter. By month 6, publish these on GitHub, write a short explanation in plain English, and share it on LinkedIn. Don't wait to be ready. Employers love proof of work more than vague resumes. Months 7 to 12, aggressively apply for freelance projects on Upwork or Fiverr, even if they pay $100. That first paying client is more valuable than another certificate. By the 1-year mark, you should have a portfolio, a handful of reviews, and income that proves you're in the game. Now, healthcare. If you think the only way in is medical school, you've been lied to. In month 1, look at entry-level certifications, EMT, CNA, or phlebotomy. Many of these cost under $1,000 and can be completed in under 6 weeks. Month 2 and 3, get certified and immediately start working part-time. The beauty here is stacking. While you're earning, your employer often reimburses additional training. By month 6, consider moving up, for example, CNA to LPN or phlebotomy into surgical tech. Each step adds dollars to your hourly rate. By the end of 12 months, you could double your pay and be debt-free, compared to a college freshman still sitting in Bio 101. Quick story, Jenna, a 19-year-old from Ohio, became a CNA in 2 months, got hired at a nursing home, and by the end of her first year, she was making $22 an hour while training for her LPN, paid for by her employer. That's a solid debt-free path. Let's move to the trades. Month 1, do a local search for paid apprenticeships in plumbing, electrical, or HVAC. Skip the unpaid nonsense. These industries are desperate for young people. By month 3, you'll be on job sites, learning while being paid. Month 6, specialize. Solar installation, for example, is booming and pays a premium. By the 1-year mark, most apprentices are pulling in $40,000 to $50,000 annually with zero debt. The rule here is simple. Start earning early, stack overtime, and reinvest in your tools. Tools are not expenses, they are income generators. Think of them as equity. Next, sales. If you're not afraid of rejection, this can be the fastest way to 6 figures. Month 1, apply for sales development representative positions. Companies don't care if you have a degree as long as you can talk. By month 3, you should be hammering out 50 calls a day, learning the product, and studying your metrics. By month 6, aim for promotion to account executive, where commissions kick in. By month 12, a strong SDR can earn $70,000 to $90,000 with commission, more than most graduates make in their first 3 years. Rule number 1, track everything. How many calls, how many emails, how many conversions. Sales is math, not magic. Finally, entrepreneurship. If you want to start your own thing, don't waste the first 6 months writing business plans. Start with service-based hustles that need almost no capital. Month 1. Pick a niche: car detailing, landscaping, social media management. Month 2. Land your first client, even if you undercharge. The point is to prove you can deliver. Months 3 through 6. Standardize your process. Write down how you do the work so you can hand it off later. By month 9, raise your prices. Your first clients were proof of concept. Now you can charge what you're worth. By month 12, hire part-time help or subcontract. If you can step back and the work still gets done, congratulations. You have a business, not just a hustle. Quick case study. Miguel started pressure washing driveways with a $300 used washer. By month 4, he had more jobs than he could handle, so he hired his cousin. By the end of year 1, Miguel cleared $60,000 with zero debt, zero degree. Here's the bottom line. In 12 months, you can either be a sophomore with $30,000 in loans or a working professional with a growing income. The path isn't glamorous, but it's real, it's proven, and it's yours for the taking. Pick a lane, commit to 12 months of focused action, and you'll be light years ahead of the crowd still sitting in lecture halls wondering if their degree will ever pay off. This is your blueprint. The clock starts now.